Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, I want to talk about why some quiet men are very impactful towards women. And I do want to clarify, when I mean quiet, I don't necessarily mean shy, because I feel like shy men are less impactful than quiet men. And so I'm going to distinguish the two before we talk about the points. Quiet men, from my perspective and what a lot of people may perceive, are those men that talk when they find it necessary and they don't really talk for the sake of it. So he's quiet because there are many times where he's not perceiving talking as necessary. Shy means they want to talk, but they withhold because they are afraid of rejection or assumptions from other people, okay? Or they're just uncomfortable with the social situation. That would be a little more shy. Quiet, he's not uncomfortable at all. He just doesn't really have input at the moment. And so that's very different, okay? Quiet versus shy, okay? So why are these men particularly impactful towards women? The first one is it signals emotional regulation. And anyone who watches my channel and the research that we kind of look at on this channel or in our group knows, what does emotional regulation signal? It signals that he's able to stay calm. He's not stressed. He's able to, if they have a family, take care of their family. He's able to make decisions quickly. And biologically and psychologically, this is incredibly beneficial. Emotional regulation offers all of those things. It removes a lot of complexities that can happen in dating as well. If he's emotionally regulated, he typically communicates more clearly, which we'll talk about a little bit later. If he's emotionally regulated, he will not make judgments irrationally based on his emotions, which could hurt him and his potential family, which is her. That's what she's looking for, right? Subconsciously. Even if she doesn't want kids with you, women who are looking and being attracted to you and being drawn to you, they want to couple with you, right? And part of being a couple is the psychological and the emotional benefits, which is going to be this. You're regulated. You're going to help her be regulated. She's going to follow you as a leader, which will allow, if you guys have children, to also become emotionally regulated. It's a good benefit, okay? The next one, second one, is when you do initiate and make a move, it's intentional and decisive. Quiet men are not shy. They are open to making a move if they've decided it's the right option. This is incredibly comforting to women who have been in this experience, right? A man who is quiet, they will still make the move, and it's very intentional and very decisive. I'm in a relationship. My significant other is what many people would call quiet, but he's not shy. He came up to me. I didn't even know him. He came up to me, said that he found me attractive, asked if I was single. I was, and then he asked for my number. It was probably less than 1 minute of an exchange. And before that, I didn't even know him. That is how quick and decisive he was. It was very intentional. And he has always told me that he was very picky and he was very intentional with dating because he's older than me. He's said he had a very specific list for what he wanted. And once he finds it, he goes for it. That's the way he is. But he's quiet. He doesn't talk about a lot of topics. Like if we're in a setting, I might be talking a little bit because I try to be polite. I'm also quiet. You don't see this when I'm talking here, but in reality, I can be, but he is quiet in a way where he's listening. He just has nothing to say. But when he has something to say, you will hear him. That's what I mean, okay? The next one is they listen before they speak. Men who are intentional also tend to be very listening forward because they understand that talking does not always help with learning. It can. But if you are in a room full of people who have a lot of different knowledge, listening to them will benefit you as a man, right? And a woman, but just we're talking specifically for men who are quiet. Why they leave an impact on women is because they do this. And so they actually build a very big knowledge base compared to men who might be a little bit more, my significant other would say, boisterous. I don't know if that's a nice word, but sometimes he will say that. Men who are like that, what he tells me, and my dad tells me this too, they'll say like men who are always forward with their information, it's because they don't have that. They talk more than they listen, and that's why they make a lot of mistakes. Like let's just say in their business, finance, work, whatever it is, right? They're talking a lot more than they're listening, and that can affect them, right? And so these men, they listen before they speak because they can learn and they can absorb that information. And when they translate that information to a woman, when it's decisive, intentional, she takes that very Like that's an impact towards her. And that builds a lot of attraction because she can see how much knowledge he has. When he's sharing, it's not all of his knowledge, right? He's not bragging at all. He's just sharing and it comes in the most specific way and it matches to the room. He's not just bragging because he wants to. When he has information and it fits the conversation, he will say it. And that comes across pretty attractive to a lot of women, okay? The next one is that, interesting enough, men like this tend to be more talkative around their loved ones because their loved ones listen, right? Their loved ones know how to take a back seat. Their loved ones know how to talk about conversations that they like and they give them room. That's like in my relationship, right? When he has something he wants to talk about, I just let him talk. I'm, supportive. I understand him. I respect him, but I don't really interrupt him because this is the time where I know this is what he loves to talk about. He can talk about a lot of things. He will talk about the lawn, like mowing the lawn and what he wants to do with the lawn could be for like 40 minutes. Genuinely. That's just the way he is. But I don't really know much about it. It's fine. And so I listen. I support him. I think that's a good idea. And I tell him that. And that's it. But why women like this, okay, is because when he's talkative, he's only talkative around the people he loves, and that makes her feel special. That makes her know that he cares. And this can only happen if he's not that talkative in general, right? Quiet men are not talkative around everybody. Men who are less quiet, they're talkative around anybody. And so it doesn't see this strong dynamic in comparison. And so a lot of women do like seeing this dynamic, okay? The next one is he doesn't need to fill up the space because he is secure with himself. Okay. And so a lot of men who are not secure with themselves, sometimes what they do is they want to take up a lot of space because they feel like that will get attention from women. And sometimes it does, right? But often it's not going to attract the most stable women. It's not going to attract the most maybe confident women themselves, in which in that way, she might have low self-esteem. She might do unhealthy behaviors. It's not going to attract the most quality women. That's probably not the nicest word. We don't need to talk about that point. A lot of times what happens is these men who want to take up a lot of space, it's because there's something that they feel they're missing. Men who are more quiet, they don't really need to take that much space because they're secure with themselves, okay? The next one is he's actually very respectful towards others and expects to be respected back. So he wants a reciprocal relationship with other people. So he doesn't talk because part of it is he's respecting the person that's talking. And so he also expects when he's talking that people listen and respect him. And so by a sub-point of this is about a better way to put it, by virtue of this and the perspective of this is because of such, he will set boundaries much more clearer because he starts with respect. But then if respect is not there, he will withdraw the respect. And that is typically what a lot of these men are like. The next one is he is fine being alone and he's very selective of who is in his life. And this can make a lot of women find that attractive because if he does choose her, she feels special and she feels taken care of and she knows that whatever his resources are, they're for her and him and their potential family. And the next one is when he does talk and it's very passionate, typically these men, they're very passionate about what they care about. And when they are talking, it's about their passion. He uses his passion to connect with others. And this is very attractive because women can see his inner world. Let's say, for example, he's very interested in cars. And when he's talking about cars, other people might talk about cars as well. And he builds those connections through his interest. And so women will see almost some form of networking. Let's say it's even a job related thing, a form of networking and social building by that particular bond, which is passion, which allows her to feel like he has nothing nefarious as to why he's connecting with other people. It's something he likes. He's not trying to manipulate other people. It's truly what he's passionate about. And so I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.